As the raid lead, you are ultimately responsible for the well-being of every single person in the raid, whether they like it or not. And although the average age of raiders in Classic is 30 plus, at times you'll feel a lot like a babysitter. There'll be people with stinky diapers that when you try to change them, they're gonna cry and kick and scream and yell because they don't understand what's happening or why it needs to be done. They'll moan and fuss at you for doing things that are for everyone's benefit, but they just don't see or understand it because they don't know what it's like to be in your position, to be responsible for the entire group, to bear the weight of the world on your shoulders. Um, Being a raid lead, it's like being Moses trying to convince your entire people to walk through an ocean and to have full faith and trust in you that you can lead them to safety on the other side. Unfortunately for us, people that have never had this burden put on them, they think they have the right, the inclination to treat us like we aren't people. It's as if we were one of those, mechanical arm plushy vending machines, and when they don't get the toy that they want, they're gonna kick the machine in anger. If you're just starting out a guild or getting into raid leading, know that it's a grueling road ahead. It's not going to be easy, and not everyone is going to have the raid's best interest in mind. Know that people are going to vilify you, and to them, vilifying you, it's going to justify actions or things they might say or do against you. Don't ever take what these people do personally or too seriously, since they aren't even viewing you as a human being in the first place. In my 2 years of raid leading, I can't even begin to tell you how much ridiculous things I've been crucified for or blamed for, or the things people just attribute to you out of nowhere just because, I don't know, they want some figurehead to be able to blame and say, "Oh, it's all your fault." Um, and if I ever let those people get to me, I wouldn't be here today. I remember this one guy that every single raid he was in, he would just constantly complain after every single raid about anything he could find, like, oh, this guy, that guy, this healer. When this guy himself would be messing up mechanics, and it's always funny to me when someone can point out all the mistakes of others, but they aren't willing to be accountable or take up the mistakes that they themselves are making. And of course, this guy eventually ended up leaving the run. And I kid you not, the very next raid that this guy left was the best Claire that our run ever had, and it was just so funny to me. We continued to do even better in following weeks, and nothing is a better rebuttal to these people than continuing to persevere and continuing to move along strong without them. And if you aren't a raid leader watching this, I just want you to know that raid leaders are people too, just like you. If you disagree with something they do, you can have a conversation with them about it. You can talk to them. You can try to convince them why, you know, what you want to do is better for the run. And this will tell you if you have a half decent raid leader, because a good raid leader is going to take feedback, they're going to take criticism, and they're going to try to do better with that feedback. No person is perfect, and therefore no raid leader can ever be perfect either. There's always going to be something that you can improve or do better, and therefore it's just unfair to expect your raid lead to do everything perfectly. On top of playing their own class and managing themselves, they're also doing the same thing for 39 other people. It's a very intensive and stressful role, and the last thing any raid leader needs is more people with stinky diapers to change. So please have empathy for your raid lead, especially if they are trying their best to improve and do the do better for the sake of everyone. Another thing too is like, just because you kill Jesse James don't make you Jesse James. Unless you're ready to step up and take full responsibility, just leave the job to them. Another thing that I wanted to go over is qualities of a good raid leader. What makes a raid leader decent? Like I previously mentioned, a good raid leader is going to acknowledge and own up to his mistakes. He doesn't just blame everyone and everything and have no accountability. By doing this, you can build and establish more trust with your raid because it's going to show them that it's okay to own up to your mistakes and they can be more comfortable doing the same. Secondly, a good raid leader has the ability to de escalate intense situations. People need to remain calm and not panic because, in my experience, that almost always leads to a worse outcome when stuff hits the fan, because people panic, they run into another trash pack, they blink into something, they do something they wouldn't otherwise normally do when they start panicking. So be able to de-escalate. Say, hey guys, just take a step back. It's all good. Do what you need to do. Separate these out, or just stand still, or just focus skull. Things like that. Um, yeah, and part of being able to do this is the ability to keep a level head and never spurg out too hard or lose control over your emotions during raid. No one said it was easy, but this is part of your job and it's something you need to train and work towards if you want to improve the overall health of your raid. Um, Another point that kind of ties into the first one is you need to have the ability to treat everyone fairly and equally. And this is also going to build trust amongst the raid because if people were to notice some kind of special treatment being applied or given to certain people, it would definitely make them feel like they weren't a part of the group, like they were excluded in some way. And they might have less respect for you as a raid leader if you were to do something like this, or if they see something like this happening. So try your best to, no matter if it's an officer or the best player in your raid or the worst player in your raid, treat everyone the same and have respect for them, and they'll have respect for you. The last point I'll touch on, it's um, being knowledgeable about strategies and mechanics. How are you supposed to lead a raid if you don't know the mechanics of the trash or boss fight? I've been in raids where the raid leader just seemed absolutely clueless, and what ends up happening is pseudo raid leaders are gonna form out of the woodworks because no one cares to listen to the guy trying to lead who doesn't know anything about anything, right? Um, and it's clear that he doesn't know what he's talking about. So, as a raid leader, make sure that you. Also, a good way to do this is if you have alt characters or multiple toons, try to attend some other raids and see how other people raid lead certain raids, and that's going to help you understand some mechanics that you might know, or other mechanics or strategies or ways of doing a boss fight that you yourself might not be aware of. That's a really good way to learn by getting experience in a different run. Um, yeah, so overall, there's a lot of things that raid leaders can do to improve the raid and be better and better their group. And there's a lot of things that raiders can do to better the experience for their raid leader, and make things easier for them. At the end of the day, each person is going to be human. Try your best to understand and realize that so you don't take things to heart too much or too seriously. Um, chill on your raid leader, chill on your raiders if you are a raid leader, and just try to improve for the next raid. Try to focus on what you can do or better for the next week. Don't ever try to fix everything in one raid. It never works. It will never work. You can't snap your fingers and fix things overnight. So it's a long, grueling process. It takes time. You don't just flip a switch on or off and improve things. So always remember that for the next raid you do. And it can help lower stress just moving one raid at a time, one step at a time, focusing on what's ahead rather than in the past. And yeah, that is mostly my rant for today. I've been going on long enough. Tuesday, 5 p.m. server time, which is or 8 p.m. EST. Phoenix has our 2 soft reserve Naxxramas on classic era Whitemane Alliance. We want warriors that can do damage, priests that can heal, mages that can decurse, and honestly, anyone that wants to join the community and be a part of something, learn how to play or ask questions in the warrior chat or give feedback to our run. Anything is welcome, anyone is welcome. Discord.gg/Phoenix/Classic. It's on the screen somewhere. And yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day, night, wherever you are, and peace out.